it's Judith, and I'm here with my August TBR. Yes, I'm wearing a jumper in August. No, I don't really have an explanation for why I felt cold. So I'm going to go through what I'm going to read this month. I want to read 20 books this month, which sounds like a lot. I read 18 books in July with moving in the middle, so I feel like I've got my gumption. I've got an hour-long commute every day. I can read 20 books this month. Some of these are ARCs, some of these are my own TBR, and some of them are going to be chosen from my rereads jar, which is very exciting. And then I'm leaving space for 5 books to be mood read, so I can just say, I really want to read X today. I don't want to read any books on my TBR. I'm going to throw this in. Or like a graphic novel, or if I get something in the post. So without further ado, let's get started. The first book on my list, because it is technically a review copy, but it came out in July. This is The Rage of Dragons by Evan Winter. I have some friends who've read this who didn't like it. I know 2 people who've DNF'd it. So I'm going in with fairly low expectations, and I'm feeling like this may be a DNF for me as well, just because I trust their judgment and they know me quite well. But you never know, and I thought I might as well give it a chance because it was sent to me. We'll see. So this is from Orbit. This is already out in the UK, if you're interested, but I haven't heard great things. The next book is, which I've talked about in my reading vlog, which I don't know when that's going up in comparison to this video, but this is Turning Darkness into Light by Marie Brennan, and the white is throwing my camera off. There we go. Turning Darkness into Light by Marie Brennan. Dragons, linguistics. I'm very excited. I can't wait to read this. I think I'm reading this today. It's Saturday. I think I'm reading this today. Gonna be good. And that's out on the 20th of August in the UK. And then the next one, which I have a physical copy of, is Kingdom of Souls. It's been a bit of a saga to get this proof copy. I have a friend who really wanted the snake pin they were giving away at Yalc. I won the Yalc giveaway. I took the book. She took the snake pin. She already has the book. I'm really looking forward to reading this. It's so shiny. I think this is going to be really good. I need a good YA fantasy. I've read a lot of meh YA fantasy lately. I need something to kind of kick me back into the groove. Next up, I've got some ARCs that I don't own physical copies of, but I do have them on NetGalley. The first of which is Wild Savage Stars, which if you follow me on Goodreads, has been sat on my Goodreads reading shelf for ages because I'm reading it on my PC, which I'm not on very often. So I think I just need to sit down and really get to grips with that. But that's the sequel to Sweet Black Waves by Christina Perez. That is by Imprint. I don't know who's publishing in the UK. Possibly Quercus? Maybe? I'm not sure. But that's a Tristan and Isolde retelling. I don't know Tristan and Isolde very well, but I liked her writing in Sweet Black Waves. I'm not averse to a romance-focused book when I know it's romance-focused. So yeah, looking forward to reading that one. Next up, I have Brightfall, which I know very little about, other than I have friends who've enjoyed reading it, and it's a Robin Hood retelling, and that's another one on NetGalley. Robin Hood, I'm a big fan. If they do Maid Marian justice, I'll be happy. And last but not least of the ARCs that I want to read, I have The Lost Princess by Connie Glynn. Now, I have a bit of a history with these books. I've read the first 2, and I keep reading them. I don't enjoy them particularly. They're quite young YA and they're quite contemporary. I read the first one thinking it would have a fantasy element. It doesn't. And I don't enjoy YA contemporary particularly unless it's for like the cheese factor. And I go in completely knowing that. If you love YA contemporary and you love these books, that's wonderful for you. I don't think they're gay enough. They have the biggest gay energy, but it's not explicitly happening. And I keep reading them in the hope that we'll get that. Get the gay. Get it. I want it. Give it to me now. So I'm reading the 3rd book. I hope it's going to be. If it's not, I shall be severely disappointed. Will I probably still read another book in this series because I really want them to get together? Probably. I have no self-control. Now, on to my owned TBR and my borrowed TBR. I've read all of my digital TBR, which is phenomenal. So everything I have next to me. First up is a book that I think I received in July. It may have been June. I honestly have no recollection of time anymore. Spin the Dawn. I'm so excited for this. This is another one that I'm hoping will kind of inject my YA fantasy TBR with a bit of life. The main character in this book is a tailor. I otherwise know very little about it despite having pre-ordered it. I just think this looks phenomenal. Even just the title, the cover, the blurb. I'm ready to read this. Then the next one is, picking up press releases, This is the first book in the Mistborn series by Brandon Sanderson, and again, the white makes my camera go weird. This is The Final Empire. I've read a few Brandon Sanderson books. I've read Skyward, I've read Elantris, and I've read Warbreaker? Is it Warbreaker? Or is that Wonder Woman? It could be both. It'll be up on the screen, you'll see which one is right. And I've loved all of them, and people keep telling me I need to read the Mistborn books. And I was at a party, and I mentioned that I bought the first one, and people immediately were like, you have to read the rest of them. So I'm going to read the first one, and if I enjoy that, then I will read the rest of them at some point. The last thing I've added is something that I borrowed from a friend, and I've had it for far too long. Susanna, I'm sorry. So this is Tomorrow When the War Began by John Marsden, and I really trust Susanna's judgment. She was the person who recommended the Broken Earth trilogy to me, and that was phenomenal. I'm really excited to read this. Purely from the line, 7 teenagers take a trip to hell, 7 return to find hell has come home. I'm ready. I'm ready to read this. I'm excited. It's looking a little bit fragile, so I really hope I manage to keep it in decent condition. This may have to be a home book, not a bus book. Those are all the books that I have physically that are new to me, haven't read before. And that takes me up to 10 books. So I have 10 books left to fill my TBR with. 5 of them, as I say, are going to be, I don't know, mood reads, rereads, however I'm feeling that day. Maybe I'll get some book mail. 5 I'm going to pick now out of this handy dandy TBR jar. These are all books that I went through my shelf, I stickered everything that I fancied rereading, and put them all in a jar on the grounds that I need to get to them at some point. So let's pick 5 books. Ooh, so first up, I don't know why I'm showing you these, just accountability. This is Scythe, which is somewhere near me. Here it is. Scythe by Neil Shusterman. I have an interesting relationship with these books. I love them together as a duology. This is the sequel here, it's Thunderhead. I love them as a duology. I think this book has stupid romance that's been in there for no reason. When you get to the second book, the romance isn't a thing anymore. So it's so much better, but I really want to reread them before The Toll comes out, which is the 3rd book. Next up is, let's try a different colour. Purple. Ooh, Conqueror's Saga, books 1 to 3. I don't own book 1 of the Conqueror's Saga. Oops. So what I will do is put a hold on this for the library. So this is the And I Darken series by Kirsten White. I own books 2 and 3. I do not own book 1. I will not be buying book 1 this month because I have a friend who's going to give me her copy of book 1 once she's read it. I love these books. I think they're phenomenal. I use the word phenomenal too much, but they are. I love everything that Kirsten White writes, and I'm really excited to reread them. It's going to be good. That's 2. 3. This Mortal Coil, which, ooh, that's a nice palette cleanser. So these are by Emily Suvada, and again I have the first book and then I have a proof of the second book, This Cruel Design. I've read them both. I really like them. They are thriller, sci-fi, dystopia, futuristic books in which people hack their DNA, and the main character is kind of a hacker in that sense, and there's a horrible virus going around that immediately kills a whole bunch of people, and these are just some of the most fast-paced, really exciting books. They remind me of kind of the first time you read The Hunger Games, and you're like, this is so exciting, death is upon us, that sounded really dark. But yes, really excited to read that. And also, like, 2 red books in a row, which is fun. So 4th, Tequila Kingdom. Ooh, this is very exciting. I'm gonna have to get up to get this one, so you're gonna see my amazing trousers. This is Tequila Kingdom by Alexandra Christo. I loved this book the first time I read it. I had 2 copies on my shelf for a very long time because I met her in person, and I've even still got the post-it with my name on from when she signed this at the Hotkey Books event. This is a Little Mermaid retelling where instead of being a mermaid, she's a siren. This book is great. I'm really excited to reread this. I'm getting some good ones. Last, but most certainly not least, let's go for this red one. Daughter of the Burning City. This is the first hardback I've pulled. Interesting. Just not particularly fascinating. Oh, I have to get up to this one as well. Don't want to watch me pull my bookcase down. Daughter of the Burning City. The UK cover is actually very different to this. It's paperback and it's kind of all cartoony. I'll put it up so you can compare the two. Oh look, there's even, oh my goodness, I'm so terrible. There's still all the Fairy Loot stuff in there. Because I had a review copy of this book. So I read it on NetGalley, then received the book from Fairy Loot, but didn't reread it. So this is really, I've never even cracked the spine on this. So that'll be really good fun. This is a creepy circus book. I remember there being murder. I remember there being pictures. Yes, there are pictures. I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be good fun. So, those are my 5 reread picks. That's going back on the shelf. And let's see how it goes. I'm really excited. There's a lot of really good stuff to read this month. I hope you'll see me reading these in vlogs. I'm hoping to film a wrap-up video at the end of the month because that's what I enjoy watching. So hopefully we'll see how all of these went. Let's go! If you like this video, you can like it, you can subscribe. I post bookish content here reasonably regularly. I also review books on my blog, Twitter, Instagram, all the places that will all be in the description below. And I'll see you in the next one.